last 15 games, and Chicago is 7-8 over their last 15 games. But the Bulls are actually leading the Cavs by half a game for the third seed in the East. Take a look at the seedings. We ask the question, is this game a big deal or no big deal? Stephen A.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal for me because it's a big deal for the Chicago Bulls. It's not a big deal for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They've won 14 of their last 15 games, 14 of their last 16 since LeBron has been back. They're flowing right now. David Griffin has done an outstanding job as the GM for the team in terms of acquiring Timothy Mozgov, along with J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert, to pair with LeBron and Kyrie. LeBron has done an outstanding job as far as I'm concerned of leading this team, particularly as of late, and just reminding us all why he's the greatest player in the game. When he's on your squad, you're a contender. When he leaves, you're nothing. In Miami, in Cleveland, that's basically what it comes down to, or at least it appears that way at this particular moment in time. With that being said, the reason why it's more important for the Bulls is because we need to find out about these guys, what they're worth. They haven't been playing defense as well as they can. Jimmy Butler is averaging more points. He averaged 13 last year, averaging 20 this year, but his defense has suffered. Pau Gasol has had to play some games without Joakim Noah. And when he's there by himself as a big man presence, he's no presence at all on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, he's averaging 18 and 12. So those are all-star caliber numbers, and we know that. But defensively, he's struggling. Derrick Rose is only averaging 5 assists a game. He's shooting 41% from the field, 29% from three-point range, doesn't look to have that burst or whatever, still looks incredibly reticent to really turn up the motor per se. And it's games like this that establish a psychological advantage, or at least prevents one from elevating exponentially. And so for me, when I look at it from that perspective, they need to get back on track, reminding the Cleveland Cavaliers of who they are and how the road to the finals, they will be standing in the way. And I think a good performance like tonight displays and showcases that, particularly since the last time the Bulls met Cleveland, Skip, Derrick Rose was in the locker room after the loss saying, we're playing bad and we're not playing together and we need to get it together. That's where the trouble really started.
Yep. I agree with you and then some about this game. As you well know, these all-star getaway night games can be dicey for coaches because you never know what energy level you're going to get from your players, because everybody's like, we got to, either LeBron needs to get to the all-star venue, or a lot of players want to get to Cancun or wherever they're going to go for the weekend. But in this case, it is extremely important for Chicago to win this basketball game. Chicago has already lost twice to Cleveland this year. Game number 2, which was on Halloween, which was an overtime loss at home, and then the game you referred to at Cleveland that they lost 108-94 and looked like they couldn't compete with the Cavs on that night. So here we go. The Cavs come in playing back-to-back on the road. So shouldn't that be big advantage Chicago? Okay. So right now, to me, and we'll talk about the Thunder in just a couple of minutes here on the show, but the two teams that are in a dead heat for playing the best right now are the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are playing at the highest level of any teams that I saw certainly last night. The Cavaliers are playing at an extremely high defensive level. They are playing at a higher defensive level than I have seen the Bulls play all year, which shocks me because that has been their calling card in years past under this coach, right? So in this case, here comes LeBron James, and there's no Jimmy Butler in this game. So who is going to defend LeBron? So if LeBron decides, I'm going to take it up a notch tonight. He took it up a notch last night. I was impressed, man. He was taking it to the rack last night in ways I haven't seen him all year. So if he decides to do that again, it's going to be a long night for the Bulls, you know.
Right now, LeBron is letting us, you know, we're almost to the point where we almost owe him an apology from the standpoint of what he did this summer. You know, the paleo diet and whatever. He looked a little bit weaker earlier on, and we were wondering if he lost it or whatever the case would be. I kept saying, relax, it's LeBron, trust him. But there are a lot of folks that owe this dude an apology, because right now, he's looking like he's amping it up at the right time. He's getting stronger, more energized. And if that continues to come forward, it's a different ball game.
But Stephen A., there was also a point where you said he just didn't seem happy.
Yes, right. And that has changed. That is it. Winning
fun's
solves a
back
lot.
in the game?
It looks like this back in the game because he didn't. And I will never backtrack from that. At the time I said it, damn it, that's how he looked.
Yeah.
Now, I can't predict the future, but that's how I felt he looked at that time. He didn't look happy at all.
So fun
But
could
then
be,
you got
yeah.
Mozgov and you
Sure.
got Iman Shumpert with J.R. Smith. And all of a sudden he takes that 2-week break and then he comes back. And all of a sudden, he looks like he's on another level right now, or actually returned to the same old level. He looks strong.
Well, he looks like he's on the red meat diet now. I don't know that, but
He looks strong.
Yeah.
He looks strong, and he's going for it. And look. Hey, listen, that's good for everybody.
Yeah.
I don't mind it at all.
The man who's been carrying the Bulls to date is Pau Gasol. Who's a little bit of a softer player, so they've had a new identity. He's more of a finesse player. Now, Cleveland comes in with a new factor here. Timothy Mozgov, right? So can Mozgov bother Pau Gasol?
Yes, he can.
Yes, he can.
Because he's physical.
Yeah.
He's physical, number one. Number two, he goes after it. He's very aggressive.
Yeah.
And Pau Gasol has a problem with aggression.
He does.
He has a problem. He's a
This is
finesse
gonna be an
player.
interesting
As
game.
his brother said, he's not
Exactly.
soft.
Yeah.
Finesse.
He's aggressive. He's finesse, rather.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what he is. But against Timothy Mozgov, that might be a problem. That might be a problem.
All right. Check out the game. LeBron may be eating red meat. We don't know.
I'm going with Cleveland in this game.
You
How about
are?
you?
So am I.
Okay.
So am I. Especially without Jimmy Butler.
It's a no-brainer.
All right.
And Butler's not playing. I can't see them winning this game.
Let's move on to a new sheriff in Sacramento, shall we? George Karl. Can he coexist with Cousins? That is the question. The debate after the break. So, again, I've told you several times throughout the show. Don't forget to join us tomorrow, Celsius at Bryant Park. Kevin Hart confirmed with other guests. Doors open at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. It is free, F-R-E-E, one of my favorite words in the dictionary. We'll see you tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, folks.
You could tell in your tone in the press conference, and then Tom Brady also in the press conference, you could tell that it was nonsense. Now, where did it come from? You know where it came from. Did it come from Mike Holtz? Is that where it came from?
Dave, we're just out there playing the game, doing the best we can.
I heard that the guy intercepts the pass, and he takes the ball over, hands it to his guy. He deflates it, and then they say, hey, look at this ball. It's got no air in it. Is that what happened?
We're going to bring you in to testify when we get the investigation next month.
I'm ready. Swear me in. I'm ready to go.
Wow, okay. So it was some malarkey, so says one David Letterman. Despite his best efforts, Bill Belichick is still Bill Belichick. Stephen A., your thoughts?
You want me to go first? I'll take
Whatever
this
you
one.
want to do.
Yeah, I'll do it. David Letterman was way, way, way better than Bill Belichick was last night because the whole thing degenerated into David Letterman bouncing jokes off the stone wall that was the usual Bill Belichick. So he went with all kinds of conspiracy theories, which I appreciated. He did the you know that I know that you know that I know that you know that I know. Belichick wouldn't bite on that. Then he went with the conspiracy theory that the Colts, DeQuell Jackson intercepts the ball, and on the Colts sideline, they deflated the football. Belichick wouldn't bite on that. And then he went with, come on, Bill, what about the kid took the ball into the bathroom for 90 seconds and then made a fairly funny joke about older men, how long it takes them to use the bathroom, which was sort of the highlight of the interview and actually made Bill Belichick chuckle. But the only nugget that came out of it, the only small newsy note that came out of it, is that Belichick at the end, as we just heard, dropped the little note that when the investigation happens next month. So time out. The National Football League isn't going to investigate this until next month? Do they not want this to fade from everybody's memory? It seemed like it happened months ago now, and they couldn't, that week in between, that off week before the Super Bowl, they couldn't nail down an investigation and get to the bottom of it because they didn't want to get to the bottom of it because they wanted the Super Bowl to be played without any more ongoing
And I
controversy.
think they want the residual effects of the Super Bowl to be as they are before and let folks enjoy that before they really delve right back into this.
Are
I
they
think
really
that's
going to delve?
Well, that's the question
Yeah.
mark. What I think their thinking is that let them enjoy their Super Bowl championship, reap all the allure, the benefits of it, et cetera, and then we'll deal with it from that perspective. I had no problem with his appearance. I actually thought that, you know, David Letterman was absolutely hysterical, and
Very funny.
you know that I know that you know.
Yeah.
That I know. You know,
It was funny.
It was really
Yeah.
funny, and Bill Belichick laughing about it. I mean, you knew he wasn't going to say anything about it. It's okay. We'll find out whatever the NFL wants us to find out in due time.
So we didn't actually exactly see the other side of Bill
No.
Belichick.
No.
I think we saw the press conference side of Bill Belichick
And a
for the
little-
most part.
And a chuckle here and there. I hear he
Yeah.
has a great sense of humor when he's not in front of an audience.
We
I don't
never
know.
get to see that.
I don't
do
know.
hear rumors of that,
Yeah.
but I have my doubts about that.
All right, so let me tell you what, folks. Please join us. It's tomorrow, February 13th, 8:30 a.m. is when the doors open. Celsius Restaurant, Bryant Park. Kevin Hart will be there. Skip and Stephen A will be there. I'll be there. Everybody will be there.
Kevin Hart will be there again?
For what?
Oh, God.
Will
I
he-
mean, you know,
Kevin,
listen,
we
man.
love you.
Listen, I don't see him trying to. I mean, I'm not trying to do his job. What's he trying to do? He sat there and said, "Oh, I can do Stephen A's job. All I got to do is talk to myself, look at myself, make
But
my
Stephen A,
face."
you have done some acting, and you do consider yourself a bit of a comedian when holding court with people.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, you do.
No. I make people laugh totally by accident. If I try to do it intentionally,
Oh,
it would
okay.
never work. I am no comedian. Kevin Hart's got that down pat.
Sure
But he
job,
needs to
Kevin.
leave the sports to me because he don't know about it, and he certainly can't play it.
Uh-oh.
I'll see you in
That's
New York
right, I said it,
tomorrow,
Kevin.
folks.
That's
Kevin,
right, I
please
said it.
come on the show.